IVM.
Hey there, friend. If you're anything like me, then you have no clue what a mutual fund is, and your life might be subject to market risks too. So that's why you should probably listen to Paisa Vaisa by Anupam Gupta, who'll answer all your questions about mutual funds, financial planning, banking, all that money stuff. You know. Check out new episodes every week on the IVM podcast app and anywhere else you listen to podcasts.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the Geek Food Podcast. This week I've got Dinkar. Hi Dinkar.
Hello.
With me Tejas, and our special guest for this week we have Abhimanyu.
Yay!
How's it going? You're back with us after last week's bulletin. And for those of you who don't know, Abhimanyu is... Abhimanyu, what do you do, man? You're in advertising.
Yep.
You live with me.
Yep.
We live together for many years.
How many years has it been? Like 5? 6?
5 years, yeah. So we watch a lot of movies together.
Good times.
Cinephile, you're a cinephile.
Yes.
Abhimanyu owns many Blu-rays.
Yeah.
Every day I come home, there are more Blu-rays.
One of the few people I know who actively buys Blu-rays.
It's all about the bit rate.
It's all
It is uncompromising bit rate.
It's true. No, I will say this. Abhimanyu has opened my eyes, like literally.
There is a huge difference.
To not just to watching. No, the difference between not just like standard like HD like 1080p, but the difference between 4K on a streaming service versus the actual physical like disc.
Yes.
Yeah.
The disc is better, yeah.
Again,
is
a function of bit rate.
Tastes better as well.
Yes.
Streaming
Sounds
is
better.
variable bit rate. People confuse resolution with quality, but resolution is one of many factors.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's true.
Yeah.
The resolution of this podcast is
Is?
to talk about
Yeah, you got there.
this week's movie. So last time Abhimanyu was on the show, he was on for Straight Up Action, where we discussed just good action films. And here's my new theory. Well, it's not a new theory. It's something that we've been banning about for a while. That the love for script-based or performance-based, like very like the writing is something that masses are a lot more attuned to right now. When we were discussing Game of Thrones, why so many people were disappointed, they knew why they were disappointed, as opposed to just saying like, oh, I just didn't like it. They know now. They're
Yes.
very clued into the writing process and what makes characters tick. This is what our generation has bequeathed to the film whatever.
We're
the
a
zeitgeist,
slightly
right?
more evolved audience, probably.
We are an evolved watching audience. So, having said that, I feel like the love has been drained from, just the straight up visceral action films that we spoke about last time. And I think it's time to give that love back, to just celebrate once again just the sheer art of action cinema, like what Tom Cruise may do with, Mission Impossible series, or now the John Wick series, which is doing so well, which you haven't seen the third part of.
No.
You fool.
Yeah.
It's great.
Took me a while to get to the first two, but yep, I'm a convert
It's
now.
amazing. It's really, really good. And people are really like that. We're reaching peak like action cinema.
Yes.
And like this kind of cinema.
Yeah.
I would say that maybe we've kind of gotten to a part
We're
where...
peaked. Yeah.
Yeah, peak probably, because action cinema is now very respected when it's done really well. Like the Mission
Exactly.
Impossible series.
Yeah.
Most cinephiles love the Mission Impossible series. Ditto with John Wick. Freaking Mad Max Fury Road, man.
Amazing.
Yeah.
What is that movie? It's one long action chase sequence.
It's-
High
amazing,
spectacle
yeah.
with like really good choreography.
Yeah.
Yeah, great choreography,
Yeah.
I think
and
is the word
people
as well,
love
yeah.
that. So, yeah, I think people punching things is still cool.
I think it's really cool, and but I feel like it's not. I mean, like, I wanted to get that, people may say, oh, but a drama, or like, which is your favorite movie in the world? Ain't no one going to say Mission Impossible Fallout, but it is mine. Okay, it was like I think it was my favorite movie last year with
for
Infinity
sure.
War.
Possibly,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
And the action of those films are very different from the Marvel films when it comes to like action in the Marvel. Like how people used to say that people watch action films to kind of they just skip through the dialogue and wait for the action. In the Marvel films, the opposite, right? Like we just but they've nailed both. But it's a very different type of CGI action versus what is great about the Mission Impossible films. Having said that, here we come to a film which has larger than life CGI effects.
Yeah.
And still
Much
has
larger than life.
Yeah, much larger than most lives, and has the visceral punch action of hand-to-hand combat.
Yeah.
So,
claw to tentacle.
Tail.
Claw to jaw.
Claw to jaw.
Right. We are talking about none other than Godzilla, King of the Monsters.
Amazing.
Why would you put that article in there? It was like, what's wrong with King of Monsters? King of the Monsters.
Monsters.
King of the Monsters. Just giving them the respect they deserve with an
Yeah.
article like the of King of the Monsters.
Why wouldn't you say Titans, by the way?
They
Or
do-
I thought
yeah.
this Godzilla universe used to call them Mutos. But
Mutos, yeah.
now suddenly they went like, you know what? Let's call them Titans.
I think that was the interim name when they didn't know what to really.
But now
call
it's
it.
So,
aliens.
in the
so-
original Godzilla, those two things that he punches at the end, and I'm going to call all action sequence punching, by the way, just so you know.
the punchings.
Yeah, when he does the punchings at the end
Of
to
the
those
first Godzilla.
weirdo creatures, the first Godzilla,
Right.
Those are the Mutos, and he's not a Muto.
He's a Muto.
He's also a Muto, right?
He's a solid Muto.
What is it like? Massive under terrace
God damn it! I don't know.
organism.
We're gonna find out.
Sure,
We're gonna
check.
find out. While we're
I don't want to find out now. Surprise me.
Man, Muto is a great word to use. Just
Muto's
generally.
it's like LARP, where you're like, wow, what is LARPing?
What is
Live
LARPing?
action
Role-playing,
roleplay,
yeah.
LARP
or
it- LARP it right up.
MMORPG,
MMO, massively
multiplayer online role-playing games.
Yeah.
I always thought it was like some really technical term, and I was like, wait, that's what it means?
Massive.
The
You
Mutos
guys-
of the online world. Anyway,
Yes.
we find now many more Mutos, but they're called the Titans.
Okay, let's take a second. Why are we discussing this film? This
Because
film,
it's freaking monsters punching
Awesome, yo.
monsters.
It's awesome,
Sorry,
right?
the monsters punching the monsters.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. This movie has been critically, well, not slammed, but pretty much. Like, movie critics going to this film are gonna go like, yo, what is this nonsense I'm watching, like monsters punching monsters?
Let me say, I agree with them. This movie is dumb and
It's dumb.
ridiculous, and it makes very little sense.
But-
and also, I love it.
Yeah.
It
I mean,
is-
if you look at
it's
the Rotten
amazing.
Tomato score, it's like, its audience is 87%.
Yeah?
And I think, critics, tomato meter is like 37 or 40 or something.
I kind of
It's
get where
like
critics are
double.
coming from, because I think
Where are
essentially
they
they're
coming from,
saying
Dinkar? Home?
that you could do this movie. Yeah, they're coming from home, and they're going back home
They,
disappointed.
you know what they forgot to do? Leave their brains there.
Okay, we are in a time where critics are willing to accept pure action, straight up action movies, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they didn't like this, I think, because they feel it could have been better, and I'm saying,
But like,
maybe,
it's monsters
man,
fighting. Like,
whatever.
how? Like, what are they gonna do? Like, do they want like a drama, heavy drama behind it? Like,
I think-
what is that
They're
gonna solve?
monsters fighting each other.
Yeah,
What do you
like-
want?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
What do you want?
There's I don't know what the expectations were for this, but I feel like they should have been tempered with like freaking monsters is punching monsters.
Here's the thing. The first Godzilla film that we saw, right? Was it Gareth Edwards who made that film, by the way? It
Yes,
was, right? The guy who made
2014
Rogue One?
Yes.
Yeah.
The part of the first film in the legendary Monsterverse.
Monsterverse, yeah.
And which was then followed by a prequel, so to speak, Kong Skull
Skull
Island.
It's a shame that they took the Monsterverse when obviously Monsters Inc. created the Monsterverse.
That's true.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
They
Anyway.
also went to university, so it's fine. Anyway, but so they did those films. Now the thing about my complaint, I didn't actually like the first Godzilla movie that much.
Neither did I. I
Okay.
thought it was okay. You know why? Not enough
Not
Godzilla.
enough, not enough monsters punching
Yeah.
the monsters.
Where's the
Yeah,
punchings, man? You're
exactly.
talking about Mutos? Show me the damn Mutos.
It was like the last 20 minutes, man.
Yeah.
What's that about?
Barely even that. I read a thing later that said Godzilla's on screen for about 7 minutes.
7 minutes?
It's
And it's
the name
all-
of your movie.
Yeah.
What is this?
What if...
Ang Lee's the Hulk?
Exactly. What
Which
if
I love,
you went
sorry.
to watch Mission Impossible and all the missions are possible except the last 2 minutes where they're like,
Yeah.
oh, this is a tough one.
Yeah.
Also, Godzilla has
End
like a
credits.
really dark grade in that film, so you can hardly even
Yes.
see what's happening. You think they did that
Oh,
because
but
of
I mean,
CGI? Like, it
Godzilla
costs a lot more
himself
than
is
they
dark, but that last fight is during the day, isn't it?
In
With the punchings?
no, man, because I remember I remember when he finally bows out and he goes back into to the sea and everyone's like saluting him.
King
and they're
of the
like,
monsters.
King of the monsters.
Sunrise, yeah.
Yeah, it's like close to like dawn or
Yeah,
daybreak or
yeah.
whatever it is. But yeah, I think maybe there's a CGI reason for that.
Yeah, it costs a lot more money to shoot.
I mean, like,
Yeah,
how are you
I
going to
mean,
realistically portray him in the sunlight? Though I am waiting to see that shot where, like,
Yeah.
like anime where the sun is in the
yeah.
eye.
But they
I love
sort
that.
of did that with Kong Skull Island. Like, that's all daytime.
Kong,
That's true.
Skull
And
Island.
he's
But that's
just
because you need to see
running
the flora and the fauna, man.
Yeah.
Of Skull Island.
You see
And they
that
pulled it
fur.
off pretty well. I mean, Kong Skull Island is pretty much all whole Vietnam War movie.
Yeah, pretty
in
much,
a
yeah.
overt way. Like the main dude is called
With Samuel L. Jackson.
One of them's called Conrad and one of them's called Marlowe. And I'm like freaking.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah, I
just
get it.
making Heart of Darkness, but with a gorilla.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly,
And there are
yeah,
lots
yeah.
of like homages to that, right? Like with imagery and stuff.
Yeah, there is that one shot of the choppers going towards Kong, and he
Right.
kind of like stands up.
Exactly.
And
That was a
he's
great
silhouetted
shot.
against something.
And
That's
there's a-
actually
Isn't
the
that,
only shot. That's
directly from Apocalypse?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's the only like shot that I
Except
really
without the
remember.
gorilla.
And there's that famous match cut of like you see Samuel Jackson, his eyes,
Uh-huh.
and then match
And
cuts
cut to
to
him.
Kong's eyes,
Love
like
that. Love
same
it.
frame.
Love the match cuts. Here's the other thing.
Yeah.
Forgettable movie. I don't remember watching it.
Kong Skull Island.
Though I'm a big King Kong fan. I love
I was
King
talking
Kong.
about this last week on the podcast, but I was thinking about Godzilla King of the Monsters, and I was like, oh yeah, Kong Skull Island was before that. Who was the monster in it? That's how forgettable it was.
Who does
It
Kong
took me
fight
half
in
a
that?
second. Huh?
Who does Kong fight? Are there like
The
T-Rexes?
man. He fights the man.
No,
Oh,
these
boring.
monsters called skull crawlers.
Wow.
Yes, there are
So
skull crawlers.
basically, there
What
are,
are
like,
those?
there are natives who live there, and Kong protects them from these skull monsters.
But who are them? Oh yeah, what do they look like? I can't remember.
Spider-
They
Spidery
look
things, I wanna
like
say?
short lizards, but with
Oh,
like
lizards.
yeah, lizards, yeah, giant short lizards, I guess. Yeah.
But he also fights Samuel L. Jackson, who wants to take him down.
Yeah.
And
He's had enough of these mother effing.
Yeah.
so basically,
Kong on this mother
Monarch
effing
wants to
island.
capture Kong and bring him back,
Yeah.
and they employ the military to do it, and then the military finds out that this is all about a giant ape, and go like, "Holy shit, we're killing this thing."
Yeah.
Question: is Monarch or any of the table setting? Does that happen in Kong Skull
No.
Island?
No.
Do we
Not
ever hear the
really.
word Monarch?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Oh, we do?
Yeah. So, what's his name?
Adrian Brody is in the other one. I keep forgetting.
Tom
Tom
Hiddleston.
Hiddleston
Yes.
is brought in to help Brie Larson's character, who's a journalist.
And he's
Holy-
a tracker, right?
Yes. Who
Yeah.
else is in that movie? Samuel L.
Samuel
Jackson.
Jackson.
Brie
and
Larson.
John Goodman.
And
John Goodman. Correct.
John
okay.
Goodman's in it.
John Goodman was a Monarch guy. Now I remember. Okay.
Ah.
So John Goodman's character brings on Samuel L. Jackson and these other two to try and bring back Kong, but he doesn't tell them what they're doing there exactly. But once they land up on the island, Samuel L. Jackson in particular realizes that they're hunting a giant ape, and he thinks it's madness, and he wants to kill the giant ape.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice.
And John Goodman wants to protect him, I guess. Okay,
Jesus,
cool.
yeah.
Also, in the post-credit
his name.
scene for that movie is when they realize that
Right.
there's
There are
multiple
other
monsters.
creatures.
Yeah.
Also,
and
John
stuff
C.
like that.
Reilly's in that film.
Yeah, he's like a captain of a ship.
Yes,
He's like a Captain Haddock.
He's the guy
figure.
who's stranded there.
Yeah,
Wow,
yeah.
what a cast!
Yeah.
I know what
completely
happened.
forgot he was
and
in
what's
it.
it? King Kong is also in it.
Fucking King Kong is in it. All
That
right.
is a great cast.
Why are we talking
Rounds
about
it
Kong
off.
Skull Island?
Like he'll get the "and" credit. Samuel L. Jackson and King
Kong plays himself, yeah.
Yeah.
In the credits.
They did that in this film.
What?
This in the end of the cast credits, there's Godzilla, Mothra, and stuff, and it's all like Godzilla himself.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't notice
Yeah.
that.
They went
no
there.
way.
They went there.
Okay.
It was great.
Let me say, that's one of the things I love about this movie.
Yes.
It knows how ridiculous it is and it leans into it.
Yeah.
I'm
the
into
end
that.
credits song is Godzilla.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like
Godzilla.
and it is the better version of what Eminem did with the Venom.
Venom.
soundtrack.
Well, I mean, it's a great song already. It's a Blue Oyster Cult song. Oh, cool. Anyway.
Yeah, but
Yeah, but they
and
had
the Blue Oyster Cult, they just fit in well with all this weird shit. Also,
yeah.
isn't
like,
the Blue Oyster Cult like an alien race that came to Earth and
that's the Blue Man Group.
no?
Yeah.
No, the Blue Oyster Cult, the band, right,
Yeah.
is named after the Blue Oyster Cult, which is
Oh, really?
that group of aliens who come and set events into motion that determine the fate of the Earth. Or
I
something?
did not know that.
Cool.
Oh, okay. Anyway, so they remade their Godzilla.
Little trivia.
Here's what's weird about that end credit song, though. I didn't realize it was Serge Tankian singing it.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
System of a Down, Serge Tankian?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well done.
He doesn't sound like himself. He's
He
one of the
doesn't
most
sound like
distinctive,
himself. Yeah.
He's like,
distinctive
I'll do
voices.
this if you don't put my name in it.
He's such a unique voice, and you
Yeah.
don't recognize him. That's odd.
Yeah.
But I thought the
Actually,
soundtrack was very good.
The soundtrack of the film or
Yeah.
the
There's a lot
score?
of, like,
The score,
tracks.
the score.
The score, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I meant the score.
I wish Godzilla had like a theme that I could remember right now. I could hum.
There
Like,
is a
when he
Godzilla
comes out-
theme.
yeah, but I didn't remember. It
It's
should have been
a-
like a da 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 when he comes out, and just like
Or just
You'll recognize it when I play it for you, but it's so for this movie they brought back the Toho movies Godzilla theme.
whoa,
Yeah.
oh
And they
that
made it a thing.
theme.
Yeah.
Nice, that's cool.
yeah, there's one part of the movie where there's like some tribal like music chanting or whatever. I think
Nice,
that's going
nice.
back to
I think it's
30s.
Japanese stuff.
Yeah.
Wow.
Man,
Okay.
crazy.
So, we're all in agreement that this is a dumb movie and we loves it.
We were gonna say why is this movie being made? But I always think
Because who doesn't want to see Godzilla's punching?
Exactly. It's it's one of those films. I've said this before. It's like we love Godzilla films, but when younger audiences go oh my god, Godzilla's so 1933 or whatever.
Who says that?
But I'm just saying.
Punch
but my
them.
Point, they should be punched.
Yeah.
Here's my thing. It's one of those films my dad. I told you.
I know what you're gonna say.
It's just my dad would be the kind of person who doesn't know anything about Monarch or Mutos or anything like that. He'd just be Godzilla film is playing. Let's go watch Godzilla.
Exactly.
But then
I love that.
Universal appeal, man.
But then afterwards, your dad would be like, it's okay.
Alright, time
It's
pass
okay.
movie.
Then why do you-
And I would say that's the perfect assessment. My time was passed.
Yeah.
Yes.
Very enjoyably.
We went in, it was one time, came out, 3 hours had passed.
Okay, let's take a break. We'll come back and discuss specifics from this movie.
The plot, yes.
Hey everybody, welcome to another great week on the IVM Podcast Network. If you're not following us on social media, please make sure you do. We're IVM Podcast on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Speaking of social media, one of the things that we really enjoy doing is we love seeing screenshots of people listening to our shows. So if you're listening to something and you want to let us know what you think about things, just take a screenshot, post it to Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, wherever, and tag us, and we'll tag you back, and we'll talk to you, and we'll let you know what we think or what do you think. We'd also like to thank our sponsors for this month, Savari, Storytel, and Paytm Money. We really appreciate the support. Also, on another note, an IVM-related note, we're looking to hire. We're looking for producers, content creators, audio engineers, back-end developers. We're looking for somebody in the data specialist kind of space, graphic designers. We're looking for all different kinds of people. So if you want to join one of the best places to work there is out there, then send us an email to careers@indusvox.com with your resume, and we'll get back to you shortly. On Cyrus Says, actress and soon-to-be director Tiska Chopra talks to Cyrus about her childhood in Afghanistan, how she got pulled into acting, her new original web series Hostages, and how she's looking to write and direct more in the future. On the Ronnie Screwwala podcast, Ronnie talks to me about the pursuit of inflection points, understanding the size of markets, and the importance of brand in creating scales. Speaking of the Ronnie Screwwala podcast, if you want to send us some questions for Ronnie for his last episode, then please do so. It's at shows@indusvox.com. In case you missed it, check out episode 4 of The Note with Maruk Inayat. She lists 5 reasons why Rahul Gandhi stepping down is the right decision. On Shunya One, Sheila Ditya and I are joined by Sachin Parekh, founder of Easy Roads. Easy Roads is a great platform that allows you to do local road trips, and we discuss the startup and the tech behind it and local travel. On the Empowering series, Zarina talks to Hital Desai, Senior VP at N Paradigm. They discuss different reasons why people quit their jobs, the importance of interpersonal relationships between employees and employers, and more. On the Pragati podcast, economist Anupam Manur is in conversation with Pawan about where Britain stands in regards to Brexit 3 years later and why it has cost them 2 prime ministers. And with that, let's continue on with your show.
Hey guys, we're back. We're talking Godzilla, King of the Monsters. Do you realize that they, I don't know for what reason, maybe to establish the, I guess, underserved continuity that is actually there from the first film, the 2015 film? 2014? 2017 that movie came out?
Yeah.
Nah, no chance.
Wait,
The movie came out.
fact check.
Yeah. You're good at that then, Kar.
Think I'm right.
So, they, in theaters here, it's like they photoshopped and they didn't have...
2014.
Yeah, 14.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Kong Skull Island. Sorry.
No. So they wanted to establish the connect with that. So they put a 2 in front of it. Godzilla 2.
Oh, really?
King of the Monsters.
But they don't take a lot from that old movie, right? Other than
well, the 2
Ken
cast
Watanabe
members
is back.
and Sally
Hawkins was there as well.
Who very unceremoniously... Sorry, spoilers.
Yeah, we're going to spoil this
We're gonna
entire movie.
spoil this.
Don't worry. It's monsters punching monsters.
Who cares about the humans, right?
Yeah. So Sally Hawkins, very unceremoniously, just gets eaten.
Offed, yeah.
Yeah.
She didn't even do much in this movie.
I think she was just like, okay, I'm here. Okay, I want to go now.
Yeah.
Just CGI somebody eating her and then it's gone.
Like the Thomas Middleditch character, I thought he was fine. But he wasn't needed, really.
Let's talk about this cast.
Yeah, sure.
Since the Kong Skull Island, I mean, no expense was too much clearly for this this movie and this cast. They were like, we're going all out. We're gonna get the best actors. Ken Watanabe obviously reprised his role with Sally Hawkins. We got
except now he's even more like reverently praying at the feet of Godzilla.
He's the human incarnate. He's like the human counterpart to Godzilla in this film. Like
there are sequences where Godzilla is like literally tearing shit up and about to murder someone, and he goes like, "We must respect Gojira."
Yeah. He's like, we must have faith in the Gojira.
It's all about balance, huh, this movie.
It's all about everything.
It's all about the balance.
Yeah, it's the yin and the yang. The monsters to the
Who else
other
was
monsters.
in the cast?
We got Thomas Middleditch.
Tommy Middleditch.
We got...
he's fine. He's the typical straight man.
We've got
the main
O'Shea Jackson Jr.
Baby Ice Cubes.
Yeah, Baby Ice Cube. Who's there in it.
But
in fact, him and Tom Beanie did a nice...
He wants to be O'Shea Jackson Jr.
He is O'Shea Jackson Jr.
Yeah, but he refuses to go by Ice Cube Jr.
Oh, Ice Cube Jr. Yeah, that's true. So they did a nice wired autocomplete if you guys want some more information on this.
Thomas sent him, right? Yeah.
Who else is there in this film that we...
Well, the main cast, the central story is about this family where the main...
This is a ridiculous story. But
I know, okay.
Millie Bobby Brown.
Vera Farmiga. Millie Bobby Brown and Coach Taylor, whose name I forget. Kyle Chandler.
Kyle Chandler.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Coach Taylor from Friday Night.
Yeah, exactly.
Can you imagine him talking to Godzilla like, all right, Gojira, clear hearts, full eyes.
There are some moments like that.
Eyes? Full hearts, clear eyes.
There are some moments like that with Ken Watanabe.
Yes,
inspire the beast.
Anyway, so the central conceit of this movie is that what is the family's name? The main family?
It doesn't matter.
B something.
Andrews.
Andrews.
No, it's
something
not.
with B.
I'll tell you.
Bruce?
Something with... Okay, Russell. The Russells.
The Russells?
Yeah.
Wow, how forgettable. All right. So the Russells, Mr. Russell and Mrs. Russell have split.
Yeah.
Baby Russell, Millie Bobby Brown.
No, they've split because their kid died in the first...
In the first
in a very
movie.
BVS kind of way.
Yeah.
Which this movies remind me too much of. In a very BVS way, one of their kids, they show a moment from the first Godzilla film where one of their kids dies in the whole attack with Godzilla fighting all those Mutos. And because of that, separate the family. But they were both like, the mother works with Monarch. She's developed a device now in that time, which is called the Orca, which can now communicate and tell the Mutos and all these beasts what to do and how to chill them out. And, just basically get them like in a chill state.
Yes, basically they communicate like whales with basically whales or whatever.
What?
Whales communicate with a
whales?
whale, W-A-I-L.
Oh, oh my God! Wow! I was like, have you lost?
What do you call them? Whale screams, whale signals, whale call signals.
With bioacoustics.
Sure, if we're gonna sciencify it.
Yeah. Well, clearly we're talking about Godzilla here.
They're bioacoustic it.
But what's saying? Are these monsters just like they've been on the earth for like millions of years?
So,
like that's
they have predated us, but they only
us, right?
So her basic the plot of the film is basically that the Earth has been treated poorly
by us.
They're in the core for X
so
amount of time.
Did you not attend her presentation in the middle of the movie?
It was great. Her TED. Thanks for my TED. Thanks for coming for my TED.
There is an entire sequence where she calls into the main ship and tries to explain what she's doing to her estranged husband.
While her kid kind of annoys her. She's like, just get on.
She's like, come, I'm on a call.
Yeah.
And then she gives a villainous sort of speech.
Yeah.
But with supporting visuals playing on a B screen.
Yeah, it's amazing. So basically she says that the humans have treated the Earth poorly, and this is the restoration process, that these monsters will come up and fight, and whenever they do, suddenly flora and fauna starts sprouting naturally throughout the areas of destruction.
Her theory is these are beings of radiation, and radiation will accelerate growth.
This is they've not followed closely what happens when they've not seen HBO's Chernobyl yet.
Are they not watching Chernobyl?
Oh God. But yeah, so basically what they do is they bring back life, and so like a fever is deployed on the human body to beat all these antibacteria stuff. This is what the role of the monsters are, is to come and to destroy each other and thus bring about new life.
Keyword being balance. All about the balance.
Yeah.
So her and Tywin Lannister are basically fighting for this cause. Tywin Lannister, of course, Charles Dance, who's great.
He doesn't
Barely does anything. He says like 4 lines.
Oh my
but he
God.
tie-ins it up.
He's like her father-in-law, or like that kind of figure, like a father saying, "Okay, cool, are we doing this?"
Yeah.
That man can deliver so well. His
Yeah,
line,
he's
every
so
line,
fun.
like I just feel like crap.
And he's got like
afterwards,
5 lines.
Yeah.
So
good.
yeah, he's an eco-terrorist.
Eco-terrorist.
Eco-terrorist. That's the
Wow.
sweetest kind of terrorist. Like, if somebody gives, "I am a eco-terrorist," I'm like, "Aww.
Yeah. And then
Thank
he-
you for your service."
Give me your straws.
Yeah.
Here's a paper straw.
God damn it, just get it done.
Exactly.
All right, so the two of them are trying to restore balance by unleashing all these titans that have been hibernating across the earth in
Which is
various
kind of like a
locations.
twist, right? You're supposed to think that Vera Farmiga is like a good person, so to
Yes,
speak.
it's a bit
Until-
of a reveal when we find out that she wasn't kidnapped into doing this, but it was her
plan.
idea all along.
Yeah.
And she reached out to something Jonah, who's the
In that
eco-terrorist.
moment, we were like, when that happened, when she was like, she just turned the other way, we were like, what's happening,
Yeah,
guys?
why is she doing this?
Like, I either thought like this is a bad movie, or maybe she has other agendas, and it
Yeah.
was luckily.
Yeah.
that way.
Well, thank
Yeah.
God.
Exactly.
Otherwise, it would have
Yeah,
been
yeah.
like super.
It would
out
have
of
been
the
really
blue.
dumb if it was just like, oops.
But it was cool, man. When
Yeah.
they
Vera Farmiga,
it was nice.
Yeah. So Vera Farmiga has also kind of brainwashed Millie Bobby Brown into believing that her solution is the better solution.
Yeah.
In the meantime, Kyle Chandler's brought out of retirement
What is going
for one
on
last
in this
job,
movie? Yeah.
along with Thomas Middleditch, because he's the only one who understands Mrs. Russell's work.
Yeah, pretty much. She's like, she's the only one who knows how to control the monsters, and you're the only one who knows how to control her.
So
What
like,
the hell?
why don't you guys deal with it? So it's that
Yeah.
classic, like trying to put a human perspective to
it's,
the.
It's a classic. God damn it, you're the best man we got.
Except you're saying it to Godzilla.
That's what Ken Watanabe's character is essentially trying to say the whole movie. He's just like, and you know how they try to explain? Basically, this whole movie is trying to set up Godzilla fighting, like, is a good monster fighting other bad monsters.
Yeah.
And they try and make it as, like, script wise as possible. It's so
Yeah.
funny how much they lean, where they go like, we're just trying to find out whether some monsters were benevolent and others.
The most ridiculous sounding theory when he suddenly goes like, yes, but some monsters are here to protect us.
Yeah, and I'm just like,
they predated you.
Yeah,
So
how
why would
is
they
it
protect
Yeah,
you?
exactly. Yeah.
How did you come up with it? Just to serve the plot so that Godzilla can kick some ass and be on our side?
Yes.
Pretty much.
Basically.
Yeah, that's it. I liked it.
So, I guess what we're saying is, this plot is bonkers and nobody cares.
But one second.
No one cares.
So, Kong
Yeah.
is technically like a deity in Kong Skull Island, right?
Yeah.
Yes, they played
He
him.
is. And Godzilla
And
is...
he's alive, but he's like
Yeah.
active. He's not
Yeah.
like under the
So
ice. or anything
Godzilla
like
is also the same, but in the 30s or 40s, was Godzilla the bad guy?
that. No, Godzilla was sleeping, man.
Yeah.
Like in the old films, or was he just wreaking havoc?
Yeah,
and-
in the old films he is, but this is not following that timeline.
Yeah.
This is following the
So they've
2014
changed the
film.
character slightly.
Yes, they've changed Godzilla's motivation.
Okay, so from the original Godzilla, which was the Toho Studios Godzilla, there have been 35 Godzilla movies.
Amazing.
And in this
As
time,
two less. than
two
that.
less. Let me just read out some of their names to you because they're freaking awesome. All right, first one called Godzilla. Cool.
Good one. Says what it does on the tin.
Yep.
Yeah.
Second one, Godzilla Raids Again.
Nice.
Approved,
Sequel.
right?
It's a
Sounds
classic
good.
Batman Returns.
In 1962, we had King Kong versus Godzilla.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
So you see what's happening here.
Who wins
Where
that one?
slowly, I don't know.
They
I
both
haven't
die
seen-
tragically.
Maybe it's a Romeo and Juliet situation.
Yeah.
Martha.
But so Godzilla obviously starts out evil because he's a giant monster, but slowly he starts to become the good guy, especially when other monsters come in. So there was Mothra versus Godzilla after that, and Ghidorah, the three-headed monster, after
Ghidorah,
that.
yeah.
So once he starts battling other guys, is when he starts to become the good guy, the protector of Tokyo.
Yeah,
probably.
yeah.
Okay.
I think people wanted to see like a
Oh my god. Let me, I'm just gonna call out some names out here and let's marvel at their awesomeness. 1967, Son of Godzilla.
What?
Yeah.
I
That's the
love
one.
it.
That's the one where
I love
Godzilla
it.
goes to his son and goes like, "So, what future plans?
yeah.
What have you thought?"
You need
Yeah,
to
Settling
Godzilla
down?
engineering.
Yeah. You need to take over the shop. Yeah.
1968, destroy all monsters.
That's the name of the movie.
That's the name
Is
of
there
the
an
movie.
exclamation mark after? Is it?
1974, Godzilla versus Mecha Godzilla.
Man,
Mecha.
that's the movie I need to watch next. I want to watch a Mecha Godzilla.
Okay,
amazing.
so then there are phases here. There is after this the Heisei period, which has Godzilla versus Mothra again.
Any robotic
Godzilla
versus
versus
Mothra.
Space Godzilla in 1994.
Oh, shit, nice. Space Godzilla.
In 1995, Godzilla versus Distoroya. And I'm not pronouncing it like that. That's how it's spelled.
995.
1995.
That's pretty
yeah.
recent.
Hollywood?
No,
These
these are
still
all
the
Japanese.
films.
Oh.
In 1999,
That's our Godzilla.
Yeah.
that's our Godzilla, but there was also
There's more
other
than one
Godzillas
Godzilla that
being
year?
made. Multiple Godzillas, because in 1999, Takao Okawara released Godzilla 2000 Millennium. He Backstreet Boys did up.
Oh, that's brilliant.
2001,
He is larger
Godzilla.
than life, though.
2001, Godzilla, Mothra, and King Ghidorah. Giant monsters all-out attack. I mean,
Sick.
what
I'm up
you
for that.
want? 2004, Godzilla Final Wars.
I love it. They're just giving what the people want, man.
Yep.
I'm into it.
In the meantime, the foreign adaptations, those we know, yeah. There was the 1998 one, which we love.
No,
Jamiroquai?
that's 98 or 99.
Jamiroquai.
That's 99.
98.
Oh, that's,
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
And the current Godzilla timeline, the Legendary Pictures Monsterverse
I'm into
timeline.
it.
Yeah.
Godzilla is it like an IP owned by Toho Studios or is it like public domain?
No, it's owned by Toho Studios. I think they've given it Legendary now.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
We're getting some
Because they're doing good stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
This movie make any money? I hope it did.
It did.
I'm sure
it
did.
No, it
Okay.
says it didn't say it did great, but
I
hey,
mean,
the
it's
next
just-
movie is
yeah.
inevitable. So he told me like we exited the cinema and I was like, man, I wish King Kong was in this. And he's like, no, Godzilla vs.
That's the
Kong.
next one.
It's next year.
Yes.
March.
In March.
Yeah.
And do you know what the
What?
title is?
Godzilla vs. Kong?
Yeah,
No.
it is.
No,
What is it?
That was just the poster. That was it. It's called
Okay,
Godzilla
okay,
vs.
but
Kong.
the
All out
posters-
monster attack.
No, the
Check
post-
this best.
The
So
poster
go
says God versus King.
I
How
love it.
good is that?
That, they also
that's
tease that in the
amazing.
credits to
I
this
can
movie.
die happy now.
Where
No, so in
this
this-
newspaper headline in the end credits sequence says, "What's a king to a god?"
Love it. You know,
Oh, so
you know.
good.
It's let's. where do we even go
Oh my
from here?
god, we're just
But
raving about
this
this
movie. All right, so let's talk about.
Let's talk about this movie specifically. Tell
You
me
know-
parts you guys like, because nobody cares about the
Okay,
plot.
the entire scene in Antarctica was pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because like I like
The
the ice.
underwater Godzilla thing?
That was cool, man. Like
Yeah.
so that's when they fight. What do you call it? The Ghidorah, right? The
Ghidorah, the three-headed boy.
Here's the most insane thing about this movie. Okay, the whole movie. Vera Farmiga's character and everybody is just like, oh my god, monsters were here, they predated us, they're here to protect the planet, we're supposed to fight, it'll be amazing and all that shit. And then they were like, these are monsters. First of all, people are taking a second just to believe that.
Yeah.
Then they're like, oh shit, this guy, he's not a monster, he's a fucking alien. He's not even from here.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Ghidorah, the
Oh my
alien.
It
god.
blew my mind.
Let me
first of
explain
all.
this because just saying out loud might help me process it. But they use an oxygen bomb, which
1 second.
Under-
1 second.
was that underwater?
He was underwater.
Oh,
They were
right.
like,
Yeah,
We
yeah.
have a new type of bomb. It's called an oxygen bomb.
or something
Oh, no,
like
what's it
a
called? Oxygen?
deoxygenator.
It's called an
Yeah.
oxygen something. I don't know, man.
But basically, clearly,
Oxygen
from the
remover.
name, like it
Yeah.
says on the tin, you drop the bomb and all the oxygen is sucked out. So Godzilla struggles and he's going like, can't breathe.
No,
Meanwhile,
here's the thing.
Ghidorah's like,
They drop
"Whoa,
it
what's
in
the
water.
bomb?"
How?
Yeah.
It's like, it's
It
water.
is-
It's made
In
of
his house of all places.
So this bomb
Jesus.
destroys Godzilla, but Ghidorah's fine, which is when they realize that, wait a second, maybe he's not off this earth.
Man, you know
Yeah.
what's so funny? They kind of preempt that thing where, you know, one of the characters, she says, oh, you know, dragons are, you know, mystical from the east, you know, and we respect them and all that stuff. And later on, they were like, no, this is not us. This ain't one of ours. It's like so basically, an alien looks like a three-headed dragon.
Yes,
Which like,
pretty
looks
much.
even more classic. I'd even go so far as to say Godzilla's from another planet.
Yeah.
Probably.
But this guy, this classic-looking motherfucker, dude.
I mean, look at King Ghidorah, dude. He looks so evil already. So you look at this giant monster encased in ice, and Vera Farmiga's like, he's gonna be the solution. Then she unsonars him or whatever, and he starts punching things, and he's like, wow, he's monstrous. I'm like, yeah, no shit.
Look at his face.
Yeah, look at Rodon's face. He just looks like a twat.
Look at all three of his faces.
My God,
Yeah.
so funny. Anyway, so that's a really good scene where they say, "Oh, look, well, he's an alien now." They just like retcon his entire
I like
history.
I really like the initial sequence where they find him underwater.
Oh, that's so cool.
And they sort of remove all the defenses just to say hey buddy, we're on your side.
Ooh, Godzilla.
To Godzilla, yeah.
When do they? I can't remember.
When he's
Right
swimming
at the start of
slowly in
the
the
movie.
water.
Right.
Yeah.
And
you
then
see him,
Godzilla
like-
pulls a prank by just like
by just like bumping him.
Bumping
like,
into
hey,
him.
That's
catch
good.
it right by.
Oh, that was good. Yeah, that's really
It was
nice.
good. It was a great first set piece to set things up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I like that. I like the entire sequence which happens in Mexico or
with Rodan, right? Rodan.
with Rodan, yeah.
With Rodan.
So in that sequence, basically Rodan comes out of a friggin' volcano.
That
Yeah.
camera zoom killed me, dude.
Oh my god,
Oh
yeah.
Where they basically look at Godzilla's just like looking at them, and then like it cuts to Godzilla's. I love it when Godzilla does very human
There's
things.
a whip where it goes like whoop,
Yeah.
right into his
Yeah,
face.
yeah.
Godzilla does like the most human things where he just like uses a building to get up. Like,
Like an old
There's
uncle.
one,
It's like an old man.
His eyebrows are so expressive where he goes like at one part
Love
when
all
Ghidorah
the-
regrows his face or
so
whatever.
good. I love all the
He's so
human
human.
Godzilla moments. Those are
Even
funny.
Rodan is very human. Like right at the
Yeah.
end, when spoilers, Mothra stabs him, and he goes like,
Yeah, it's like betrayal of trust.
it's like he goes like
So good.
H2
Yeah.
Mothra as he dies.
So Mothra is in this movie like Godzilla's girlfriend.
yeah.
Yeah.
We got a thing.
Amazing.
She's pretty cute though.
She's very sweet.
She's
She's
very
a
sweet.
babe.
even happening.
Mothra's hot.
Even Godzilla's pretty cute, you know?
Mothra more like hot. No,
Yeah.
but
Hotra, yes.
she's like she in the end. And now again spoilers. She sacrifices her life to save Godzilla. Yo.
Here's what's amazing about this movie.
That's a bay.
As soon as they find a new monster, they already know what it does. Like Ken Watanabe at one point goes like, "We must understand the relationship between King Ghidorah and Godzilla has been fractious for decades." And I'm like, "What you talking about, man? You just found the guy who called him Monster Zero like under 2 minutes ago."
Yeah, exactly.
Or another point where someone's like, "So is it like Mothra and Godzilla are a thing?"
Are a
And
thing,
someone
he's
else goes
like,
like, "Yeah, haven't you heard?" I'm like, "What do you mean?"
Yeah,
man?"
They're just
what
implying
is-
that there are no rules, basically.
I guess.
That's what
Man, okay, other favorite part of this movie. Godzilla's dying. He goes home. Okay?
Yeah.
Godzilla goes to his house.
Where
which
there's a
is-
radiation plant.
Yeah, okay.
It's how like when animals go to the corner of the under the sofa to
Except he's
yeah.
got a legit bat cave in this movie, right? Like
Yeah.
he's basically, what was that supposed
It's
to
like
be?
Atlantis, yeah, kind of.
Oh, I thought it was the Hollow Earth thing that they keep talking about throughout.
Hollow
And
Earth?
it kind of freaking Bradley Whitford was in this movie, guys.
Yeah, I know,
completely
yeah.
forgot.
Man, so he goes to his house. Godzilla goes home, and he is sitting there to recharge. But apparently that takes too long. So their solution is let's nuke his house.
Let's throw water in his face. Yeah, wake
Because
him up.
He's powered by.
Radiation.
Yes.
Everything
Yeah.
is radiation. How's radiation so good?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like how.
And you know what's so funny? They blow up his house, man. They
Yeah.
like literally. He's just like looking at me. He's like, oh shit. He's like, and obviously Ken Watanabe has to
Yeah.
sacrifice his life honorably.
He reaches out and
And
touches
He's
Godzilla's
the only,
nose
he's
gently.
the only man to touch the Godzilla.
Goodbye,
The
old
king of
friend.
Monsters. And yeah, they have a moment. It's just
Yeah.
like
They have a
mutual
moment.
respect moment.
Where
Yeah.
again, Godzilla's
Godz-
so human-like, opens his eyes and goes like, "Ken."
or Godzilla just does
Is
a.
that an oxygen bomb?
Dr. Serizawa, actually, we keep
Serizawa.
calling him Ken.
I think
Like,
Godzilla
no.
gives a head nod in that moment.
Yeah.
You know, the
Yeah,
classic
he's just-
head nod.
He goes just like,
Yeah.
I accept.
On your way. As you were.
Yeah, solid. Great.
So good.
That's one of
They clearly didn't know how to challenge Godzilla repeatedly because essentially the same thing happens to him again.
Yeah, he gets twice. He gets
Twice.
Doesn't
He's just
Mothra spread some radiation on him or
Exactly.
something?
Yeah, when she
the
blows
same
out and
thing.
stuff.
Yeah.
So he's supercharged with radiation. He starts fighting Ghidorah, starts struggling, is collapsing, and then Mothra's like, "Wait, let me explode into radiation all over you."
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. She basically
Baby.
dies, and then all of her radiation goes into the Godzilla.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you haven't seen this movie, what we're saying right now is absolutely
It's
true.
amazing.
Man, I was
It's
telling you earlier, I would have died if there was one shot where Mothra is like sitting on the shoulder of Godzilla. I would have died.
that would have been amazing.
Oh my god.
Man,
That
yeah.
I mean, like, yeah, moments like that. Like the camera zoom on him is
So
so
good.
good. That's a Jim from The Office moment. Right?
Exactly.
You expect,
Where he's just like-
you expect him to look at the camera and go like, you gotta be kidding me.
But another really good scene is when so basically this whole movie takes the humans from place to place by this giant blackbird like jet kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Yes.
And they just keep zipping around the place. Who was paying for this? This is a private company. This is not a
I
government
thought it was a
operated company.
government thing,
No,
right?
it's not.
Isn't the
government
conflict
trying
at
to
the
shut them
start
down
that
or
the
some shit?
government is trying to...
Shut them down.
Oh no, I thought they wanted to bring them directly under the government, and the logic was, we pay for you, we should have control over what you do.
Oh, but then they're saying no. It's like the Sokovia Accords.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Who cares?
It's the Civil
Monsters
War.
is punching
Other
monsters.
movie, the small spin-off of this film. But yeah, and they keep zipping about. One good scene that happens from it.
Rodon?
It's when Rodan like kind of is chasing them into the storm.
Yeah.
And like is chasing after the black bear. That's cool.
That was really cool.
I dug it.
I thought Rodan's design was a little odd, no? Like, he seemed the fakest of the monsters to me.
He looked the dumbest.
Yeah. He looked very puppety.
Yeah.
He looked
He did.
pretty dumb.
Yeah, he looked like
was
a
essentially a
pterodactyl.
pterodactyl, but
Exactly,
giant.
yeah.
Looked like a twat.
Yeah, he looked like such an annoying twat.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I felt like, I didn't find except for the main guy. Did we ever get a name for him?
Who, Godzilla?
Ghidorah.
Ghidorah.
King Ghidorah, yeah.
King Ghidorah. Got it. Just want to know. He's not Hydra, is he? It's like-
No.
But he does. They do cut off one of his heads.
And it grows back.
And it goes back.
Yeah,
Very
yeah.
Hydra-like.
Very alien-like.
Very alien-like as well.
Yeah.
Yep, King Ghidorah. So these are the main monsters, but
There
as
are
they
some
say,
tertiary guys as well.
there are tertiary guys as well. So at one point at the start of the movie, they say they have 17 titans that they found.
Yeah.
Which is
Exactly.
insane.
And we only get to see like for like 4 or 5 of them at the end.
I believe
With the
we
best shot in the
see
film.
all of them, but we don't see them clearly enough.
Yeah.
Like, so the ones that I remember distinctly are there's a mammoth-looking guy.
Yeah, there's a mammoth-looking guy. There's a
There's a
spidery guy.
spidery
Oh
looking
my
guy?
god. Do you think in Godzilla versus Kong there's going to be like an Avengers
yeah.
assembled
of
scene where
course.
No,
both will just run,
Run
at each other? Oh my god.
I mean, they had that. This movie had a shot with Ghidorah and Godzilla just running straight into
That
each
was
other, and I was like,
amazing.
holy
Yeah.
shit, I'm into this.
This whole movie was just like great wallpapers, like amazing
Exactly.
vista
Yeah.
shots.
Yep.
Where they cut to like just like somebody picking up a suitcase from the ground and running with it, and then cut to like the massivest wide
And-
shot ever.
And because they're so big, the action is quite slow. So
Yeah.
you're just like, oh yeah.
But they've
Yeah.
they've ramped up the pace. I think from you were telling me like maybe they got some of the criticism for the last film where they said
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
not enough action. There's like plenty of action in this
Yeah.
film, like, and they've given them a little bit of a speed
Yeah.
boost.
Yeah.
Because he's running and shit,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
He's got upgrades. He can fire like the synth beam from his mouth and
synth
shit.
beam.
Man, it's
Man,
nuts.
another wallpaper moment.
Yeah,
where he just
solid.
like fires straight in the sky.
Yeah, he's just like oh,
which is quite literally the poster for this
minor
movie.
seventh chord. It was amazing.
Oh,
So
so
they
good.
do that. Final best shot of this film. At the end, to prove the title of the film,
King of the Monsters.
Yeah. Oh
All
my
the
God.
monsters. After he kicks Ghidorah's ass, how does he do that in the end? How does he kill him? He goes like nuclear, right?
Yeah,
Doesn't he
Basically.
like punch him in his face? Man, by the way, speaking of amazing stuff, that scene where
my-
Ghidorah just picks up Godzilla.
Oh my God. That
Holy
was
shit.
so good. That
He's
was really
like,
good.
he takes him up to space and drops him like,
yeah,
bah, bitch.
Yeah, and
Very Pacific Rim.
very Pacific.
Pacific
Rim. Yeah,
Rim.
yeah.
And,
We need that
oh,
crossover, by the way.
yeah.
But anyway,
Oh, hell yeah.
Brightburn too, but you guys haven't seen that.
No, not yet.
Yeah.
I see. Okay, cool. That's not.
you said it was bad, right?
Yeah, we'll talk about it later.
okay, cool.
All right, so finally kicks Ghidorah's ass, and at the end, he stands proud and tall,
Yeah.
mourning
Yeah.
the loss of his bay, but all the monsters come up to him, and he's just, the moment you think like, oh man, is shit gonna go down? No, siree. They all bow to him.
They bow to him.
That
They
bow.
kneel.
Which, for some, I mean, like the spiders, like first the mammoth bows by like bringing his forelegs
yeah,
down,
yeah.
and the spider's like, okay, wait,
Don't know how to
I'm
bow.
confused.
I'll
I'm not
squat.
sure how to do this.
I'll squat.
Let me
It's
just like, let me just like lie down on the ground.
That bow just changes everything.
I know.
Now they're not just animal instincts, whatever. Now they have a code of, conduct and ethics and shit.
I love it.
It's just like next
they're
level.
all-
They
Honorable,
have
dude.
Yeah.
the Council of Monsters.
Dude, they are honorable beasts, and they respect the alpha.
They're going to have
in the
round table
situation.
discussions and
Yeah.
everything. Yeah.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
so
loved
good.
it. Now, let's talk about the most important part of this. All right.
The humans.
Now, the human. No. Yeah,
By the
some
way,
guy,
I
some of
do
them
love
died.
the scene where they run to Fenway Park in Boston
God.
to
That is so
amplify the Orca signals, and basically it's just Millie Bobby Brown plugging into the main sound system
in with
with
an
two
XLR
cables. Oh my
I
god!
loved it. It was so funny. Oh, you know what the dumbest thing is? Where he's just like, "Oh man, if I had you two for parents, I wouldn't." And they're like, "Oh my god, she's gone home. Why would she go home?
Because she
has an
is like
industrial
Godzilla.
bathtub.
She what?
She's like Godzilla.
She goes home.
Godzilla also goes home.
Correct,
When
this
he's
is true.
when he's down and out.
And she has that goddamn
Did she also
bathtub.
leave her brains there? Okay, check it out.
Yeah, most
There's
important part of this movie.
Most important
Tell
part of
me.
this film. The end. After the end credits, there's a post-credit sequence.
Yes.
Like any good cinematic universe ought to have. And in that, we thought we would see King Kong, but no.
Yes.
We see Charles Dance, Tywin Lannister, and he's basically got the head, the decapitated head, I want to
Yes.
say, of Ghidorah,
Ghidorah.
and he plans to do something sinister with
Oh my
it.
god, do you think it's gonna be like a cyborg Ghidorah?
Yes!
Oh really?
Yes!
I hope so.
Holy
This
shit!
is what's gonna happen. He's gonna he's gonna
Use
biomechanically
some
But do they
make
have
a-
the money to do that? They're
yeah,
eco-terrorists, right?
they'll do whatever. He's an
Yeah,
eco-terrorist
right?
now.
Yeah.
You know, eco-terrorists, they can do anything.
Those guys have got pretty good funding. Yep.
Yeah.
By the way, I
Give me all
love-
your money, I'll plant this tree. Yeah.
And he plants it, goes like, now wait 36 years.
And so basically, I think they're gonna remake that guy. Okay. And this is my theory. It's gonna be Batman versus Superman,
Yeah.
Dawn of Justice. Like pretty much exactly that. Here's
Yes.
why. The movie's called Godzilla versus Kong. Right? They're obviously gonna pit each other because we want to see that. We
They're
want
both,
to see Godzilla.
they're both good guys.
Both
right?
good guys.
Yeah.
They don't know it.
Yeah.
But then, when Godzilla is King Kong is about to kill, what do you call it? Godzilla.
Yeah.
I
He's
love
gonna
how
go
you're
like,
indicating a trident in King
yeah,
Kong's hands.
yeah,
or something.
yeah, he's gonna kill him.
Yeah.
He's about to kill him, and then he's gonna say, "Must save Mothra."
What the-
And
Boom!
he was like,
Am I
why'd you
right?
say that name?
Why'd you say this name?
Why'd you say that name?
This is what's gonna happen.
Your girlfriend's name is Mothra too?
Wait, what?
yeah.
And they'll both mourn her loss.
Yes, of
And
course.
then they will join forces.
Yeah.
Oh
and
my
then fight
God.
Doomsday, which is this guy.
Which is Ghidorah.
Ghidorah.
I thought
like,
he'd, we see that Ghidorah can regrow a head.
Ghidorah 3000.
Ghidorah 3000.
Yeah.
So Ghidorah's head could regrow the rest of Ghidorah?
I don't know if that's how
It's
it
like,
works.
Wait,
an,
one second.
it's like an earthworm situation, right? You cut up an earthworm into
No,
how
I
many
thought it was
of
like a gecko situation. You cut off the tail, surely it'll come back. But
But
you
if-
can't grow back the rest of the body.
if
You cut
Ghidorah's
a
an
starfish
alien,
into two,
right?
it becomes two starfish.
Yes?
I think because Ghidorah is an alien,
Yeah.
if she becomes like a cyborg or he or whatever becomes a cyborg,
Yeah.
I think
I
There's
think
two
is
of
the
them.
appropriate.
he or she, Ghidorah, will probably send out some signals to space and some alien vibes
shit.
maybe.
A Chitauri
All the
situation.
Ghidorahs are gonna come into
Yeah.
town.
Oh, I love it. That's when we get our Avengers Assemble shot.
Yeah.
Oh,
Where
my
we get
God.
like all the monsters and that like 360 shot, which is actually goes 50 miles across to just
Because it's
cover
so
all of
big.
them.
Oh
But
my
yeah.
god, this movie's so good.
Oh my god, I can't believe I'm saying this. I am even more excited about this movie.
It's like
What if
six
Godzilla
months
goes to
away.
space, guys? He has to put on a giant space helmet.
Oh my god.
They build gear.
Because obviously
What
he
if-
needs oxygen.
Time
No, no.
machine.
So, okay, one second. Here's the other thing. All of the humans now kind of get the program. They're like, yo, this Earth is pretty much ruined right now because all these guys have like messed it up. So we gotta stand with the folks who are protecting us.
Yeah.
Let's help them. And you gotta give the humans some role. You gotta make a good cast and whatever. So they build gear for the monsters.
Oh
Huh?
shit!
Right?
Yeah,
Give
giant monster-sized gear.
Give Godzilla like a team building exercise 2019 t-shirt.
Give all of them
That'd
like
be amazing.
I
numbers
just want
like
him to wear a t-shirt.
I'm Godzilla, I'm number 10. Jordan.
Yeah. Oh man, that would be great. I think
Oh,
this would be
man.
amazing.
Yeah.
And you know what? Next movie, they're gonna keep it at a crisp like 2 hours. I want to say.
Yeah.
Or
How long
maybe
was
one-
this? 2.5?
was like- yeah, it was a little
Ew.
long.
More
but
punchings.
But they needed to kind of do a little table time.
Yeah.
They don't need to. This movie literally just came out. This is
Yeah.
the Infinity War to next year's Endgame.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I say, boom, open in media res. Get the ball rolling.
Like during the fight.
Yeah, a fight, just a fight. I don't know what. I don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know. Or maybe you see Ghidorah like on the phone or some shit, and he's like calling his mates. Whatevs. I
Yeah,
want to
yeah.
see it.
A giant Ghidorah-sized phone.
Yes.
Which of his 3 heads would use the phone, though?
Yeah, he's like, give it to me. It's like, no.
It's like, ask him when he's going to get it. I'm going to ask him. Give me a second.
Yeah. At one point, the 3 heads start fighting each other, right? Well, very briefly.
Okay, here's what I could tell. The head on the right is the dumb one.
Yeah.
Okay? The head in the center
He's
is
the
like
dominant
he's the Leonardo.
Obviously, because he's got a...
And the head on the left is the Donatello. He's like the smart one.
interesting. I don't know how you got that much character development.
Well, because they keep knocking each other, and the guy on the right keeps getting knocked. But they're just like, shut up, we're trying to do something else.
Fair enough. Good. Wow.
Did you not? Weren't you there for the character development parts of this movie?
Obviously, I missed that shit. Okay, cool. Right. Let's stop this madness right now.
Yeah, cool.
And let's preserve some of the
For next year's Godzilla versus Kong.
King versus God.
King
Dawn
versus
of
God.
Justice.
Oh my god.
That's what it's going to be. That's going to be great. How do you think they're going to scale after that? Like, I thought this was pretty big. But after King Kong, Godzilla defeated everybody, is that the end of the universe?
Oh my god.
I really don't know.
The end credit song has to be the Kanye Jay-Z one.
Yeah, of course.
No Churches in the Wild.
Yeah. Or like, Washington 2 should be out by then. Yeah. Who knows?
Yeah.
Anyway. Good episode, guys.
Great movie.
Fun.
Is what, yeah.
Yeah. Solid
Man,
movie.
so dumb. I love it.
I love it. This was reaching like Sharknado level of like absurdity in some moments, but still kind of held it together with the pathos.
It walked a fine line between being completely parody type ridiculous and fun type ridiculous.
I don't think people got that though. You know, like, I mean, I know they were trying to make a serious effort of making like a proper Godzilla film, but like when we were watching the movie, I feel like only like the few of us were just like dying. We were just laughing our ass off whenever something epic happened. Everybody else in the theater was like stone cold serious.
I mean, they know it's like a action monster movie. They're just trying to find some way.
They've tried to dig into it. But
to try and make it like, you know, some drama, whatever. And so they just tailor fit everything around these monsters, you know, like trying to do what they can. But
if anything, what I hope for is that they do better with the fight scenes, which some were great, some were kind of...
I think they'll make it even more shameless.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Make it more shameless, show us more monsters punching monsters.
And I think King Kong will add a lot to the fight scene because this guy he's an ape, man. He can move and stuff. He's like closest to like a humanoid figure.
what if he gets radiated?
Oh yeah. Like, oh man, I'm waiting for some crazy
laser
shit to
eyes or some shit. I don't know.
Yeah. No, he's gonna like bitch slap like a monster. I'm just waiting for it. He can slap. He has like an opposable thumb. We don't know what he's capable of.
That's true. He just like flicks a thumbs up towards Godzilla and goes like, bet you can't do this.
Imagine he gives a thumbs up to Godzilla.
And Godzilla does a head nod. Oh my god.
Okay,
God damn it.
Let's stop this. All right. Let us know what you think of Godzilla, King of the Monsters. Mail us, contact geekfruit@gmail.com. You can find us on all social media at geekfruithq. Thank you everyone for being here.
Yay.
We'll see you next year and hopefully sooner than that.
Yeah.
But for some more action films. I know you have a more subtle, deeper, introspective side, but we want you for the crazy action films. All right. See you nerds next week.
Every week comes a show where 3 people come together to tell you about stuff they like. A movie, a TV show, a book, and other stuff. Tune in every Monday on the IVM Podcast app to IVM Likes. Batman approves this message. Thank you, Batman.
India's a massive subcontinent home to truly stunning diversity. Behind the veils of smoke that obscure our thriving cities, our history is still alive, glimmering like sequins, waiting to be discovered. And if you, like me, are straining to hear the echoes of our past, this podcast is for you. I'm Anirudh Kanisetti, a history and geopolitics researcher, and I host Echoes of India, a history podcast about India, by Indians, and for Indians. In Echoes, we journey through the complex histories of South Asia and what they can teach us about our globalized world. Tune in every Wednesday on ivmpodcast.com or your favorite podcast app.